Angels have come to bless. Anyway. Hello and welcome to Our Hearts Are Restless. My name is Alexis and thank you so much for joining me. This is episode 1 of this podcast and I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this podcast for a while and I promised a few of you that I would, and so here it is. Why do I want to start with this subject, cancel culture? When I started this channel, I was very afraid to start the channel. However, being a convert, so I am a convert for those of you who are listening, watching for the first time, I am a convert. I was Mormon, and then I became atheist, and then I became Catholic. And I'm sure that's how you found me through my YouTube video about my conversion. And so I did have this great love for the truth. And the Catholic Church is just so good, beautiful, and true that I couldn't. Something inside told me I have to share it, even if I was afraid. It's just, the truth is meant to be shared, especially when it is this good and this beautiful. And so this is why I wanted to start this YouTube channel, to be able to share this beautiful thing that I found. And, to top it all off, it's good and it's true. But I was afraid of the repercussions that this channel could potentially bring. Judgment from friends, family. I was just afraid of judgment. And to some degree, I still am. And so this is why I have this channel as well. I want to proclaim the truth, and I want to proclaim it loudly and unapologetically. I want to be unapologetically Catholic. And regardless whether or not I want it, I know that good and bad things will happen. People will leave my life because of my beliefs, and people will come in, that's a good thing. And yeah, so I was very afraid of that. But here I am. Cancel culture is everywhere, and it is in the Catholic Church. Cancel culture has always existed. Yes, it has always existed. And this incident with Bishop Strickland will not be the last incident. It is not the first, nor will it be the last. And a big part of the problem is that we are no longer Catholic. We are not one. We're not whole anymore. There's so much division in so many aspects of our faith now that most people on the outside don't take us seriously. Like, I remember when I was one of the first comments I said to my husband, who was the one who converted, who started the conversion journey first beforehand. He was atheist, and he said he thinks that the true church and only church could be the Catholic Church. And I thought, like, what are you talking about? The Catholic Church? There's so many bad things about the Catholic Church, and it produces so many horrible people. and no one believes that anymore. That no one believes that the Eucharist, whatever it is, the host is Jesus. Like, no one believes that. Because I myself have Catholic family members. Well, traditional, what is it called? Family members who are just Catholic by tradition, basically. Yes, we are broken up, unfortunately. There are liturgy wars. There are wars on marriage, what it means to be married. Can a divorced person go and take communion? That kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And we're no longer whole, and it's so unfortunate. And that's why so many people from the outside don't take us seriously. With the disunity of the church and its members, it makes for evangelization. It makes evangelizing difficult. So why am I talking about this? I just want to reach out to you. If you are someone who is thinking of becoming Catholic and is now, hesitating because of what's going on, And or if you're someone who is Catholic and is thinking, I should just leave, I should just, the church is going nuts. Don't. And here's why. From the very beginning, when God created this church, when God established this church, there were men who were broken, and that these men were going to lead us. The church itself is not broken. The teachings of the church, what she is not broken, like we human beings are broken. I like to use the analogy of doctor, patient, and medical institution. The doctor tells you have to stop smoking, otherwise you're going to get lung cancer. But he himself is a smoker. Does that mean that the medical institution is bad? No, because the medical institution probably says, no, don't smoke or else you're going to get lung cancer. And does that make all doctors bad? No. Does it make this doctor bad? In the sense that he's not following what he's saying. Yeah, that's kind of bad. But what he's saying is still true. That if you smoke, you will get lung cancer. Regardless of his state, in his life, in his health, what he's saying is still true. And that's what I would like you to focus on, is that though the human beings running the church, us included, are completely broken. Oh, it came out. The church itself is perfect. The church does not lead you to sin. It takes you away from sin. It is just us human beings who are sinful and are the ones that need to be helped. And even priests and nuns, religious, the Pope, everybody's a sinner. If you don't know already, I'm a big fan of E. Michael Jones. He helped me convert to Catholicism. He helped me go through the different things I had issues with the church and clarified it for me in a way that I didn't feel stupid. Okay, it wasn't dumbed down for me. And it was something I admired so much. At first, when I saw him, I was like, who's this man? Who's this old man popping up on my YouTube? Who's this guy? But everything he said, everything he was saying made sense. And he made you understand the different issues that are going on in the church, but also explained that the church is perfect. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people like Father Mike Schmitz, Bishop Barron, in the very, very beginning stages helped me convert. But I feel like people like Dr. EMJ they're so out there. They just tell you, they tell you it like it is. They tell you it like it is. Is that what you say? And I admired that so much. Sorry for those of you watching, sorry for the light. That is just, oh my goodness. It's winter and there are mountains and clouds. And so it goes behind the mountains, go behind clouds, etc. Anyway, so when I was converting, I thought, like, this guy's so cool. This guy gets it. I understand him. He doesn't pander to the crowd. He says it like it is. And the amount of courage I thought that he had and he still does have is astounding. And I'm pretty sure none of that could be if it weren't for his faith. I was just tired of hearing the Molly Mormon version of Catholicism. For those of you, Molly Mormon is the term for like a girl who's Mormon, who's like the perfect image of what it means to be a Mormon girl, and Peter Wright for perfect image of a Mormon boy. And so I was tired of listening to the Catholic version of that. And EMJ was just saying it like it is. And it was so refreshing to hear. It was so refreshing to hear that despite all the crap that's going on in the church, which has always gone on, to some degree or another, it's me converting is not I'm not converting into something bad. It's just the people. And we all struggle with the sin. And just even, it's funny, like associating yourselves nowadays with certain Catholics can get you canceled. So perhaps, you hearing me saying E. Michael Jones or Patrick Coffin, Milo Yiannopoulos, etc., those guys, just hearing their names, God, could just make me a pariah. And you might think like, oh my gosh, she's one of those people, and I'm not going to listen to her anymore. And, that kind of thing. Like, oh, you're not a Catholic in good standing, as E. Michael Jones has been saying. For all you know, YouTube is just going to cancel this video if I put it up. We shall see. We shall see. On a quick note on that, I don't have any social media, no Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook. I do have a Substack. So if you could sign up below, just in case, because YouTube just likes to cancel people randomly for telling the truth. If you'd like to keep contact with me, sign up below, just in case I get canceled. This boat is rocky, no pun intended. And we knew that this perfect church would be led by imperfect men. But that doesn't mean we should jump ship, pun intended. And so how can we combat this cancel culture, especially the cancel culture in the church? Well, first of all, we must not be afraid. We cannot be afraid of the circumstances that could arise from being Catholic. Pray. We must pray. That's the second thing. We must pray, and then we must say the truth. Don't be afraid, pray, and say the truth. Say the truth regardless of what may happen to you, because what will happen to you, do not be afraid of what might happen to you. Trust in God, and the more you trust in God, the less fear you will have. And a lot of these things are out of our hands. We can't do anything about them. But at least you can not be afraid, pray, trust in God, and tell the truth. There's this great C.S. Lewis quote I love: "Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point, which means at the point of highest reality." Have courage, my friend, have courage, and don't be afraid. We need to be whole, united. We need to be Catholic. So if you see or hear a Catholic say something that is not the right church teaching, call them out in the most charitable way, though. We must not forget we have to do this with great charity. God is calling us to be saints, and being a saint is difficult. So in this craziness of it all, if you are thinking of becoming Catholic but you're hesitating, or you're thinking of leaving the Catholic Church, just remember, this church is perfect, but it is led by imperfect people. But God has a plan. God always has a plan, and whatever bad is happening, something good will come out of it. There is suffering and horrible things that go on, but God always turns it around. We just can't see it yet. And being a whole doesn't mean that we all are exactly the same kind of Catholic. You know what I mean? Catholics, that's the great thing about being Catholic. We have different characters, we have different temperaments, we have, different things that we're all good at, just as the world, different nations are different. All those differences make up the Catholic Church. This episode is probably going to be a one-off episode. I don't want to focus all the time on the bad things, which I think a lot of Catholic YouTube channels and podcasts focus on, even though, there are things that are bad. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do this kind of thing every episode, just so you know. But I felt the need to say something because there are things that are bad that are happening right now. And Catholic cancel culture is one of them. And being a good Catholic is, oh my goodness, the light. Being a good, well, hello, must be the angels. Being a good Catholic can get you canceled, which is so bizarre. That is what I will leave you with for this first episode. We must not be afraid. We must pray, trust in God, and tell the truth. And on that, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. God bless.